for an extract question on Larry LaSalle. The actual question is, how does Robert Cormier present the character of Larry LaSalle in this extract? So basically two types of extract question, either about character or about mood and atmosphere. Obviously this one's about character and it's focusing on Larry LaSalle. So let's have a look at the extract. I'd like you to follow along doing the highlighting as I highlight, and I'll be talking you through some of the reasons for the highlighting. Okay, so first up we've got in the first line we're going to be looking for evidence of the character. So here we are, we've got Larry LaSalle was everywhere in the centre. There's kind of a clear implication that he's really energetic. So if somebody's everywhere, it means they're kind of buzzing around. Everywhere you look, they seem to be there because they're moving fast, they're involved in everything. So I think straight away we can start off by talking about Larry LaSalle as being very active, very involved in the rec centre. The next thing I'd pick up on would be this point that he tamed the notorious schoolyard bully. So it seems that his influence is very positive. Yeah, he's turning kids around. He's stopping them kind of going down the wrong path, and you know he seems to be a kind of teacher. So showing them how strips of leather can be made into keychains. So that's the second one. However, Joey LeBlanc we know about, kind of this truth teller, and even if we didn't know that that's Joey's role here, we still get the impression from what Joey says that actually maybe Larry's impact is a little bit superficial, it's a little bit surface, because underneath the surface we've still got Butch Bartoneau, the schoolyard bully, still beating up kids in the schoolyard. So he is actually still the schoolyard bully, even if he's singing on stage and bringing tears to the eyes of everyone in the rec centre. So this idea that Larry is a kind of expert in productions, in making things look great, and perhaps beneath the surface it's less positive, or it's more of a mixed kind of picture. Reading on, we've got under Larry's guidance, Edna Basheen, tall and gawky, became the hit of the show. Dressed like a bum, dancing an intricate routine with ash cans. I think this is quite interesting because the intricate routine, I think there's a clear implication that that is taught to her by Larry. So I'm also going to pick up on that. I think it suggests that Larry is a kind of careful planner. I think reading between the lines, he's put together this impressive but quite complicated routine to make Edna look good. So again, there's this idea that perhaps this is about appearance and making people look good. Winning applause like a Broadway star. You're all stars, Larry LaSalle always told us. So again, I think, you know, that's very positive, very encouraging. And we might pick up on the word always. You know, he seems to be consistently encouraging. Then we've got these rumours mentioned. So rumours told us that Larry LaSalle had also been a star. So we've got this sense of like mystery and kind of mystique, which means mystery in a sort of exotic, interesting kind of way. So a bit more positive for those two. He was performing in nightclubs in New York and Chicago. Yep, so we've got this mystery and this mystique. Someone brought in a faded newspaper clipping, showing him in a tuxedo. Starring Larry LaSalle. So we could say something there about he's presented as quite glamorous, particularly this bit about him in a tuxedo. But then we've got this little hint that it's not all positive. We knew little about him, however, and he discouraged questions. I think him discouraging questions, again, reading between the lines, we've got this sense of mystery and perhaps a dark side to Larry that he doesn't want people to know too much about. We knew he was born in Frenchtown, his family left to seek their fortunes elsewhere. Larry had taken dance lessons and had won first prize in an amateur contest when he was 9 or 10. So, simple point there. He's presented as being quite successful. Maybe in a sort of fairly small town role, so amateur contest rather than as a professional, but he's successful in that small town way. Then we've got this interesting question: why did he turn his back on show business and return to Frenchtown? And then that same point is kind of expanded on down here. No one dared to ask him. So that's quite interesting. No one dared to ask him. Maybe this idea that he's a little bit intimidating. Although there were dark hints that he'd gotten into trouble in New York City. So here we are, the real sort of suggestions of a dark side to him. A rumour Joe LeBlanc delighted in repeating with raised eyebrows and a knowing look. Dazzled by his talent and energy. None of us dwelt on the rumours. So we've got that idea of him being dazzling, being impressive. He was our champion and we were happy to be in his presence. So yeah, we've got this sort of idea of a leader, a role model, a champion in that last line. So decent spread of things that we can talk about with Larry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Loads, okay? So we probably won't have time to write up every single one of those, but we know there's plenty to talk about. So over to you. Have a go. See what you can do.